Alright, hello Zane gang. Today we are going to be going over my nearly 100% optimized takedown build. I've been really working on this build for the past few weeks, trying to get every single item for it, and I feel like I now officially do. I do not think I will ever upgrade this build later on unless DLCs drop that give me things that I need to put on. I don't foresee that happening, or unless they do some buffs or nerfs. I guess we'll see. But at the current moment, this is about the most optimized I will ever get, which is amazing. And everything I farm for myself except for one item, which is the weapon I'm using right now, the redistributor I did get from a guy named Clo33 on Discord. Very nice fellow. Otherwise, everything else I farmed for myself. You guys should know the redistributor is a unicorn, and this probably wouldn't have never dropped in my lifetime. But this build absolutely shreds the takedown, clears it in just a few minutes every time. My fastest time so far is 6:59, and I'm still working on bettering it. I don't know if I ever will, because that was a pretty good run. A lot of it has to do with how the spawns go, the RNG on how they spawn, and if they spawn at the right time, give me a big enough window to kill them. As you see, Valkyries just drop down and absolutely get shredded immediately. I mean, Brainstormer could do that too. This is also while the takedown is scaled down. If they do decide to scale it back up, I'll make a video showcasing that as well. That run will probably be around 13 minutes, I'd imagine, when it is scaled back up to players, but it will still be extremely easy with this build. I'm basically just going to show you this whole takedown run right here, and then I will go over the whole build in depth with you guys. Should be a lot of fun. I wanted to start this right off in the takedown so I didn't spend too much time on this video, and to keep you guys entertained. Every single slot of this build is used at some point of the takedown. As you can see right here, I'm rocking the Dictator just to break down the Valkyries really fast. Redistributors just for ad killing, and you'll see some more later on. The Helix can be good for ad killing too, or I mean for boss killing too. The Helix is really good for long range corrosive damage. I mean, I guess it's good for long range damage that you can crit. You can crit something at a far range, the Helix is gonna excel. Or close range, that's where the Helix excels. But the Dictator is a little bit stronger than the Helix when it comes to close range, because you can make that spread, hit all the targets. That's why I run the Dictator for Valkyries. This is one of the spawns that can be really annoying. This build is made to pretty much have your shield and sentinel up throughout the whole run, and there has been a few runs where they've both been up the whole time. But again, it does matter on spawns and RNG of seeing dead proccing, which, you know, you can't really change that. That's just a chance. I am really excited about this though. I might switch characters for a little bit just to optimize another character's build, because there's no work I could put onto this. The work that could be changed, or the items that could be changed about this build, which we'll go over in the end, is never gonna happen. They're so rare that I will never probably see them. Even spending weeks and weeks on farming them, I don't expect to ever see them. You can see this performs crazily good at every single part of this takedown. Well, this guy's probably better to use a Dictator on close range. I just been killing these guys lately just to make sure the spawns work okay later on. Oh, shield guy spawned too. I'm gonna finish him with the Helix. Bam, there we go. Yeah, these single targets are fine for the Helix. Does a pretty good job as long as you can stay on the head. Completely shreds them. Go back to the redistributor when there's a few more mobs. I do love this. It is really fun to run through the takedown of this build and just cycle in your weapons and knowing where to use everything and just getting the perfected rundown. It is a lot of fun, and if you guys are able to replicate this yourself, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun too, but I don't expect you guys to, and I hope you guys don't expect to be able to make this in a day or two. If you wanted to replicate this build, it's going to take you a few weeks at least. Unless you are able to trade for everything, which is possible if you go to my community Discord in the pinned comment. There's a lot of nice people that can hook you up with some loot you're looking for. But just from farming myself, this took quite a while to grab everything. But I slowly worked on single target items, which you've noticed with my farming frenzy. There's a reason I went for a lot of those items. It was to perfect this build out. I'm pretty happy about. Getting this door open is really tedious. This is why the spawns were important earlier, that I wouldn't have killed everything. Sometimes these guys do not spawn right when there's too many enemies in the game. So lately I've just been killing all those enemies early to make sure that they spawn correctly. Still makes my runs at around 8 minutes, which, I mean, you can't complain about an 8-minute takedown run. I'm sure this one will be close to 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes. It might be a little bit slower than normal. Yep, see, we got another bad spawn here. We just got to kill these ads back here in the beginning a little bit. Even taking my precautions, they still spawn bad. There we go, now it's open. Now, if this is a frost, I have to take out the dictator to kill him. If it's a shock or anything else, I can use my helix. Oof. Normally one mags them, but that time didn't. Let's make sure we're all reloaded up to go fight Wotan. I always have enough ammo just to skip through this area. Now this part's where it gets a little bit weird. When I first started the takedown, I thought for sure you needed a shock cutsman and a corrosive cutsman, but I was wrong. Crazily enough, you can make this whole fight with just a corrosive cutsman, just because his shield is really small, and you could deal enough damage if you have the right corrosive cutsman, which I will showcase here. As long as my action skills are maybe up. They probably died, didn't they? Oh, barrier just died. It's okay. But yeah, you can see just one mag right there without my kill skills. And I didn't have my barrier either. Then we can go through this area. Corrosive Cutsman just does his whole thing. You can pre-fire him here if you're lucky enough. Oh, I might have gotten it. It was close. He immediately jumps if you did. Nope, I was a little bit off on damage. Oof. Alright, here we go. This next part's a little tough. This is where the corrosive damage kind of sucks right here. As long as you hit enough shots, you can normally go through it like so. Alright, once they split apart, I'll just redistribute the head. And boom, dead. And I found out this little trick that maybe I could pull off. If you shoot Wotan before he jumps, he gets stuck up there. And you could just corrosive cutsman him. Makes for a way easier kill than trying to deal with him jumping around. Bam, look at that. Easy takedown confirmed. Clearing out the ads easy, just helix everything down. Let's go grab the brain. Alright, let's go over that build quick. So, as you can see, our challenger fires were shield, grenade, and melee up. And they had explosive damage up. So basically, we were neutral. I mean, my grenades were dealing a little bit more, but we're not relying on grenades with this Zane build. Now let's go over this optimized gear. Like I said, I think this is nearly 100% optimized. Very small room for improvement. So this is what you should be trying to work towards if you want a really fast takedown Zane. So on my top slot, I have my Arctic Star Helix with the Sentinel Cryo. This is really good for long range single target damage. Does a lot as long as you can crit. Like I said, as long as you can crit the enemy, the Helix does a lot of damage. If you can't crit, you're gonna notice it doesn't do a whole lot. So heavyweights are really good at this. Death Spheres are really good at this. Valkyries if they're too far away. Dogs, just stuff that's really annoying, especially armor based since it is cryo damage. Next is the Cutsman. This is purely 100% only here for Wotan. The only time I ever shoot this otherwise is for the Kraken in the beginning or a Frost Heavyweight. I occasionally will shoot this at them just because I don't want to get too close to the Dictator. Otherwise, this is purely for Wotan. Next is the Redistributor. This is the one I did the giveaway for, and a lot of the community has this. So if you absolutely need this weapon, I suggest talking around my Discord, and I bet someone will be willing to hook you up. This is the only thing I didn't farm for on this build. Like I said, I was given this, but otherwise everything else I did farm for. Last is the Dictator with the Cryo Sentinel. You'll notice all 4 of these have Cryo Sentinel because I'm relying on my action skills being up 100% of the time. Now, I did go with the Kinetic Dictator, which is strange. I know, at first, I thought for sure I wanted the Corrosive Dictator with Sentinel. But now that I've been playing, this Kinetic Dictator ×3 is so good, I don't think another variant's even needed. I would like to try a ×6, but I still think the ×3 would be better because the mag size is so much bigger. I could shoot for longer without reloading. It's nearly perfect for the Valkyries. I nearly get the Valkyries on 1 mag every single time, which means it's perfect. I have to imagine with the ×6 it would be at least 2 mags, so it would take longer. And if it wasn't kinetic, I wouldn't be able to break through the shield and armor as fast as I can. So having this kinetic one is actually really good in my opinion. All right, for shield, the transformer, this is for survivability. I have tried running another shield. I was using the Nova burner for a while, and I found that I go down a lot just because it's not the transformer. The transformer is the best survivability shield in the game. It absorbs 100% shock damage, and it also absorbs 40% chance on bullets, adding them to the ammo count, which is great because you just basically deflect bullets and absorb them. Best survivability shield hands down, and I had the Sentinel anointment on it. While Sentinel is active, movement speed is increased by 15%. Wotan actually dropped this for me one time. I was pretty lucky. I was just about to go farm it and he dropped it. I was excited. Now for a grenade, we are running the Stormfront with grenade thrown. Weapon grenade and action skill are increased by 25% for 6 seconds. Now I do think this is probably the best grenade you could put here. Another one maybe is the Hex, but otherwise I would highly suggest a Stormfront. If you don't have a Stormfront, maybe a Hex. But this Stormfront does help out with taking shields off. It is amazing. And with this anointment, whenever my Sentinel drops a grenade or I use my duct tape mod, I get another 25% extra damage for a little bit, which helps out a lot. Seen Dead, the class mod that made Zane top of the meta right now, in my opinion. For this, you just need 2 playing dirty and some good rolls on the bottom, which is what I have. This is where there is slightly a little bit of room for improvement, but I will probably never see it. You can maybe get that bottom roll on this class mod to change to like Hyperion critical damage or Hyperion weapon damage, and then you'd be probably 100% optimized on the class mod as well. I know a lot of people do like 3 in Donnybrook, but I think it doesn't matter that much. The 2 in the fire rate is still gonna up your DPS a lot. It's fine either way, as long as you have the 2 in playing dirty to make it so you have a 100% chance of shooting 2 projectiles. Now in our artifact slot, this is extremely rare, and I was really lucky to have this drop, but this is another spot where a slight tune of improvement could happen, but I will never see it in my lifetime. This is the Snowdrift Victory Rush, which is just an amazing relic for Zane for movement speed and extra damage because he gets more damage off movement speed. And then I have some really good rolls on the bottom. I have SMG damage up and mag size up. That's extremely good on already a really good artifact. The only thing that could change is that bottom roll for cryo resistance. That could maybe be movement speed, I guess, would be the slight little tune you could get. And that combined with the class mod would make this build 100% optimized if somehow I had those drop, but I never expect to in the whole time I play this game. I am extremely happy with the stuff I have now. I don't expect to get anything better. For the build, this is exactly the same as my takedown build, I think, as before. I think I might have slightly moved Cold Bore around a little bit. But let's take the class mod off and show it off real quick. So here is our skills. We just have 5 in every kill skill basically, except for salvation because you don't need that much healing. We only got 1 in good misfortune because that's all you need, because it eventually just diminishes so low. It's 1% every time, I think, and it'll do that whether you have 3 in there or 1 in there, so it doesn't matter how many you have in there. But yeah, pretty good. This playing dirty is amazing, having that 100% chance with the class mod on. Every single point is put into damage perks except for this 5 points into adrenaline. These are optional. If you really wanted to go for 100% damage, you can put them in a cold bore, but you have to rely on good misfortune being procced the whole time, because once you run out of action skills, it does take a long time to get them back. That's why I decided to opt for adrenaline, to make sure that one time that I run out of action skills, I get it back pretty quickly. But cold bore would be the better route to go if you can keep your action skills up throughout the whole run. You'll get a little bit more damage from cold bore, especially for switching weapons. For our sentinel perks, we put on the passives that are just going to give us a little bit more damage and survivability, because you're not trying to deal damage with your sentinel. We don't need rockets or cryo on it. Barrier, we don't even need this, but I mean, we got it. It only works while it's on the ground, so it's not doing anything good for us. But that's the build right there. As you can see, with all of our anointments and everything, we're working around having sentinel and barrier up 100% of the time to deal max damage off them, rather than having action skill and anointments. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you have not yet, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more content like this. Let me know what you guys think of the build. I will see you guys in the next one. Spikes out!